class here at Samaritan Athletic Medicine in conjunction with Oregon State University. We're really excited to show you around. We're going to start today over at Samaritan Athletic Medicine's clinic site. So this is our entryway. We're going to show you both our clinic space and our sports performance center here. We're going to start upstairs in that clinic space, so if you'll follow me, we'll get started. All right, welcome to our physical therapy clinic space. If you'll follow me in here, this first room on the right is our conference room. It looks a little bit different right now, secondary to some of our COVID physical distancing restrictions, but typically we use this for some of our journal club and residency conference meetings and talks. Right now it is just extra space for our clinicians to document, so we don't all jam into the same staff office. So that is that space there. If you'll keep following me this way, we're going to enter into our main physical therapy clinic space. Most of the equipment you'll see here right off the bat is just some of our basic strength training equipment and some of our basic cardiovascular training equipment. Again, all housed upstairs here. If you'll continue to follow me this way, our physical therapy staff office is here on my right. Again, looks a little bit different right now with some of our spacing, but that's the space where all of our documentation goes down. This first desk here is our physical therapy aid station. They essentially are our lifesavers when it comes to scheduling, keeping the clinic COVID clean and in tip-top shape. It also houses our student schedule here. We have Masters of Athletic Training students, we have physical therapy students, and then we have Oregon State undergraduate students that spend time over here with our staff. And so as a resident, you will get experience and practice mentoring that variety of students as well. So this treadmill here is one of two treadmills that we house in the facility. We use it for cardiovascular training. We do have the ability to do some running gait analysis on this treadmill here. The treadmill that we'll show you down in our sports performance center is more commonly used for our running gait analyses just based on space and lighting, but you do have the option to do that up in this clinic space as well. We'll walk over here to our treatment rooms. We have 3 treatment rooms. It's typically where we do our private patient evaluations. They house all of the equipment that you'll need to assess range of motion, strength, any kind of wound care or taping that you need to do is all available in each of those rooms. Over here we have 2 more treatment tables, again a bit more spaced than we typically have them due to our COVID physical distancing precautions. We have 2 game readies that we house on separate corners of the clinic that we use for both recovery and pain management. If you'll follow me over here, I'll walk you through some of our more rehabilitation specific equipment. On the floor here we have our 2 ballistic balls that we have actually just started playing with. They give us information on things like power output, velocity, distance traveled that we've started to use a bit in some of our return to sport assessments. On the table here we have our virtual reality goggles. Those we use for more of our athlete specific population with some of that type of training. The iPad here on the table we use for things like patient reported outcomes, some of our biomechanical slow motion video analysis for things like running, throwing, and cycling. These Blaze pods in the back here, those are 3 of 6 that we have. We have programming to do a bit more of our reactive type training and drills, again, typically with more of that athletic population. And then the handheld dynamometer there, used for some of our return to sport strength testing. It gives us rate of force development, and we are actually currently in the process of applying for a grant for a Biodex machine so we can up our game in that department a little bit as well. We have some dumbbells, foam rollers, and lighter weight kettlebells here. The dumbbells that we house upstairs run up to about 40 pounds. We also have our smaller med balls there on the floor, again for a bit more of that plyometric power type training. We have 1 cable Kaiser functional resistance equipment up here. And we have a couple more housed downstairs in our sports performance center that will give you a little bit more information about when we head downstairs. Right now, we're going to head across the way to our durable medical equipment shop and show you around.
Thanks, Caitlin. Across the hall is going to be your DME office. You can get everything from crutches to walkers to bands you might need to give your patients for home exercise programs. If they don't have anything, you can certainly talk to them and they'll try their best to get things in stock. They're pretty good with that. And then heading downstairs, next is the physician offices. Generally, we'll see a lot of referrals from Dr. Graham, Dr. Phillips, Dr. Ackerman, and Dr. Lenoff. You'll see a lot of them at our journal clubs and residency didactics as well. In addition to that, they do take on physician residents, and you'll interact with them quite a bit, whether it be shadowing for patient care or they'll join us for journal clubs and residency didactics as well. So that's pretty much the upstairs area, the clinic and DME, and then physician offices from here on out. We'll go see what Caitlin's got in the performance room.
All right, folks, we're downstairs now in our sports performance center, so I'm going to show you around a little bit here. If we come in, this first room on our right here, or my right, is a little bit of a newer space for us, trying to stay in line with some of our COVID physical distancing precautions. It's given us a bit more room for patient care. It also houses a bit of our warm-up equipment. You guys see the foam rollers, PVC pipe there. There is a spin bike in the corner there as well. Our rehabilitation staff uses that, as well as our sports performance team that is housed down here in this space. That's headed by our sports performance specialists, Kyle and Kimberly. If we keep coming this way, we've got some dumbbells here, some of our balance pads, two of our Kaiser cable equipments on my right here. And if we keep coming through this way, we also have our Kaiser rack here. For those of you who are not familiar with this piece of equipment, it's an air resistance loaded device. We use it for a handful of things. You can load and deload with these pedals here, so it's been really effective for some of our eccentric training, our isometric training. You can kind of have folks hold a position and load to failure there. Some of the information that it outputs for us is power. It gives us wattage, so if that's something we're interested in with any of our athletes, any of our end stage rehabilitation, that's a piece of equipment we have there. It also serves as one of our 4 squat racks. We keep coming this way, we have some of our plyometric boxes. Use those for a variety of things. We'll let you guys get creative with ideas there. You keep coming, we're really lucky to have an Ultra G anti-gravity treadmill here. Again, we use it for a variety of things. Some of our early post-operative patients with weight-bearing restrictions, we can get them loaded as early as safe. And then some of our higher level athletes use it for running and deloading as well. Oftentimes we'll have Oregon State track and field athletes, cross-country athletes, and athletes across the spectrum really for deloading use that piece of equipment as well. Our med balls are housed here in the corner. We've got a nice solid concrete wall. Folks usually have a pretty good time training some upper extremity and lower extremity power work here. We've got a pull-up bar across the top, which truthfully gets used more for the home of some of our TRX equipment, but can be used if we're stressed for space for some of that pull-up activities as well. And if you follow me over this way, you'll see our track across the floor here. It runs indoor to outdoor, about 40 yards in total. We've got a typical Pacific Northwest rainy day here, so not using the outdoor space today. But this track is used both for our rehab team, our sports performance team, and then this track and the outdoor space commonly houses our Matrix program, which is run by one of our residency faculty, Jenny Neudorfer. It's our end stage lower extremity rehabilitation program. It's a stepwise program for folks that need some of that higher level end stage training. We keep walking this way. We've got a multitude of heights of hurdles. We have our other 3 squat racks that you can see here. They have barbells set in them. We have hex bars across the back that you can see there. Benches. We do some powerlifting training with athletes and patients, Olympic lifting as well. So we have the equipment to do all of those things.
All right, and that concludes the tour of the SAM. Now we're going to head across the street to Valley Football Center, where you'll do a lot of your coverage and training room experience with Oregon State University, in addition to all the other opportunities we have for you guys. Enjoy!
Mister, Caspian's killer told me so. La 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 la, turn it down on the radio. La 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 la, my full summer about scale. Mister.
This is Winston Davenport. He had an awesome tour for you guys of the athletic training room. However, the audio didn't work out well, so I'm going to give you guys the tour instead. So you'll be hanging out with him, Connor Andrews, and Steve Gall. They're the athletic trainers for football quite a bit. You'll experience a lot of practice coverage and athletic training room coverage with them. But on this first side, you'll see 5 tables, the taping decks for the certified athletic trainers. On the back side, you'll see 5 more tables, and those are for the first and second year master's athletic training students. You can use those tables as well if athletes ask you to tape it. Right now, because of COVID, we are utilizing every other table. In addition to that, you'll see 3 treatment tables. Usually there's 5, but to abide by COVID, they are spaced out. On the other side, there's another 3. Here, you'll learn how to do some acute evals and also help rehab and manage pain for athletes. This is connected directly to the stadium, so during games, athletes may get brought back here. There's also in this building 2 physician offices, one with x-ray as well. And game days, they'll have the x-ray tech here, so the x-rays can quickly be done. You'll see here, there's an ice machine, an extra treatment table, and then on the left side, as Winston's walking down the hall, those are his, Connor, and Steve's offices. You'll see 3 more tables down this hall as you walk down. Those are also treatment tables you can utilize, but for the most part, athletes use them for Normatech. One thing Winston really likes about this space is that how open it is. So there's plenty of weights around you can find, but also there's just a lot of space for you to get open with movement. Again, it is directly connected to the stadium, so you can also do some field work out in the turf if you need to take them there. Also in the wet room, you can learn how to set up practices with the athletic training students. So that does it for the athletic training room and for the tour in general. We're looking forward to answering any questions you guys might have. Thank you.